Hey, this is Wolf from Barefoot Bushcraft, and here today we are going to talk about the Bluetti EB3A Power Unit. So this here is the EB3A, and the A stands for Advanced, and it is the power unit by Bluetti, and it has so many freaking amazing features. So anybody that spends any time in the backcountry, in the wilderness, often wonders, how do you get electricity? I live in an off-grid community. Electricity can be a bit spotty. So this is designed to kind of help that. So we are out here, as you can see, in the woods, and we're going to generate electricity with this thing using the internal lithium iron battery. And that battery is designed, believe it or not, for 2,000 charges. So discharge this to 0, bring it back up to 100%, 2,000 times, and then guess what? It's still got lots of power in it. It's still going to last at 80% of its power. So it's going to do what you need it to do, as long as it has the right wattage and amperage and all that good stuff. So let's get into taking a closer look at the unit, see what it can do, and see if it's right for you. Now, where I use this unit, again, living in an off-grid community, sometimes I need power in like my backyard. I did a video recently where I needed to take this heat gun right here, and I needed to, redo some moccasins. So I used the heat gun with this unit to generate power like anywhere I want, even here. So let's get to testing it. If I, now that I have this unit, when I go on canoe trips into the backcountry and I need to either charge cameras or iPads or phones or anything like that, this guy's going with me. It's not terribly heavy. It weighs in and around the 10-pound mark. So, I mean, it's not lightweight, super lightweight backpacking, but it's certainly not exotically heavy to carry in a canoe or maybe even if you're car camping. Now, one of the first cool features about the EB3A is the display here. Now, the camera probably isn't picking it up, but I'll put a little video thingy of it there on the bottom, a little picture. So we have, it shows the input, if there's any input going into the unit. It is going to show how much power that the unit has, how much time left the unit has, so if it's got, 20, 30 hours, and how much power or juice that it's taking. So that's kind of great features. I'm really happy that it just doesn't randomly wear out, right? Because you want to know how long this thing is going to last. So right here we have a standard DC input. So that is like your cigarette lighter style input, right? So you can pull that open, put whatever you want in there. That is an input, right? And it has a little bit of a lock on it. It has these two little things here. If you have anything that can use those two plugs, you can plug right in there and it will use those plugs to charge things. It has two USB-A's and they come in at 3 amps right there. So plug those two in. That is your standard USB type cable. It has that new style that some of the new iPhones, when this was recorded in December of 2022, the USB-C, and it has a 100-watt output charge. That's big. That's really big. This has an input down here. So this here you can use, if you have a car charger, you can attach your car charger to that. This here as well is your standard North American 120 volt plug. So when you buy this unit, it comes with a plug. It's the same style that like a PC computer will use. So it's just that big charging cable, plugs in there and then plugs into the wall. And again, that's an input, right? So that input means that it's what the thing needs to charge. And it will charge from 0% all the way up to 100% in about an hour. It also has some other cool features that if there's an emergency, you can set it to like a turbo charge and it'll charge a lot faster than that. And these, of course, are your two outputs. So 120 volts, and it is true 120 volts at 600 watts. It also has a light on it. The light's kind of a cool feature if you're working at night. But one of the neat features that I really, really love about this is if I turn it onto its top like this, is it has a flat top. But check that out right there. Check that out. This will charge my iPhone right on top of this. I mean, that's awesome. So if you have any, I'm sure there are other phones on the market out there as well that have the wireless charging port. You just rest it on, you literally drop it on the top, boom, and it'll charge. That, to me, it makes the whole thing. Like, that's amazing that it will completely charge my phone by just putting it on the wireless dock. And then at the front, of course, while that is charging, this will tell you how much power it has left and how many charges it has. That's a cool thing. So I'm going to try something else. I have a set of Apple AirPod Pros. We're going to attach those, and we're going to see if that starts to charge. So there they are there. And if it charges, their little green light should come on. So let's see if that works. Come on. It may or may not charge, I don't know. So there's the AirPod Pros there. And I don't know if the camera picks that up. Little tiny green light right there tells me that's actually charging. That's cool, man. So it charges my phone and it charges my AirPods. That's really wild right off the top. It also offers a system where I can charge here, I can use these two, I can charge there and all sorts of stuff, and it will all run at the same time. And the counter will just count down as to how much time I have left with it. So that's kind of it. It got, like I said, I've had a bunch of these over the years, and for its size and for its cost, so these retail, and I've seen them anywhere between $300 and $500, you're not going to get anything better. And again, 600 watt output. So let's try that out. So this is a heat gun. The heat gun on it, I think somewhere it said, has the actual thing on it. Heat tool. Let me see here. It says it is 300 watts right there. So let's plug this guy in. Now, unfortunately, they're noisy. So I will kind of try to get it out of the microphone area. So let's turn this guy on, set this up, and see if the heat gun works. I know the heat gun will work because I've used it before. I don't like unboxing videos where you're like, oh, look how cool this is out of the box. I've been using this now for a week or so. And to just make sure that it's what I want. So the heat gun is off. Maybe it needs to be turned on. There we go. I'm going to put that out of there so it's kind of out of range of the microphone. And this is telling me now that it is pulling 359 watts, 358 watts. And if I leave it running right now, I have 0.7 hours. So that tells me I have almost 1 hour of runtime on the device. So that's really cool that not only does it power a heat gun, which takes a ton of power, but it also takes tells me how much time I have left in order to use it. And it's digital sine wave. So what digital sine wave means is that it's nice, gentle on and off power. So for the alternating current, and I'll put a little diagram up, alternating current, of course, alternates. So positive, negative, positive, negative. And if it's very hard positive and hard negative, so it switches quickly, it can sometimes be damaging to small equipment, things like computers, chargers, and stuff like that. You obviously you don't want that. So sine wave is a much nicer system. So I have another little charger thingy here. So let's put some of the USB on. Let's plug a phone in. All right, let's try this. See how that works. All right, so we've got a bunch of stuff plugged in here. You can see I have 2 green lights telling me everything is operational. So I'm going to plug in my iPhone here. Okay, that tells me my iPhone is running. All right, and it's starting to drain a little tiny bit. We are going to take my my AirPods. We're going to put them up there. There now, the little green light is on, telling me that is running. So now now I'm using my phone right here, and it's pulling charge off my phone, and the AirPods are pulling charge. And now I have my my heater here, so let's turn that on. And I'll do my best to mask the sound, but I'm sorry, it's just a little noisy. Okay, so hopefully you can see the display on this. That kind of will tell us what the unit is doing. So now you see we are pulling out 361 watts. My iPhone is charging, my AirPods are charging, my heat gun is working, and if I keep it running the way it is, it says I should have about 0.6 hours. So, you know, half an hour, 35 minutes, something like that. So that's kind of neat. And where am I? I'm way out here in the middle of the forest, which is just remarkable. I'm going to turn that heater off now. This has a whole bunch of other really cool features built into it, as well as just being a charger. So if I open up my phone and I go to this little thing called the Bluetti app right here, all right, it will charge. See, it's connected, and it's actually telling me what's going on in the unit. So right now I have my AC on, and I can turn that right off, right from the app. Okay, and I have my DC on. And right now, 2 watts of DC power is pumping out of the unit and into both my phone and the thing at the top. I can go into my settings. Like, this has just got so many neat features into it. My settings, see how my charging mode, standard charging mode. So this is incoming charge, right? Silent charging mode, which means when this unit is running, the fan won't come off if I'm making videos or whatever. And a turbo mode. Now, if you go to turn the turbo mode on, it will usually give you a warning, and it'll tell you that it can damage the battery if you use the fast charger. So only use it in emergencies if you're at a truck stop or whatever and you need to get the charge in it. Right? I can turn my LED light on right from the app. I don't really know why I would need to do that, but I can do it if I want. There it goes, and I will turn it off because I don't need it right now. Right out of the app. And then, of course, I can take the whole unit and turn the unit right off from here if I wish. But it tells me, and it works through Bluetooth. So being as it's Bluetooth, that tells me I can use it right here in the woods where I am. You can see there's no phone coverage right here. It's on like 1 bar. So it can do everything that I need to do right off in the middle of nowhere, right off the app if you so choose to use it. And that's just kind of a cool feature that this product has. So again, it's got the light. It has the super fast new USB-C style charging at 100 watt output. Standard USB charge. Has 2 120 volts. For output, right? And as well, it has some other output stuff right there. If you have the old cigarette lighter style from a car, which is pretty commonplace for 12 volts. And these 2 little guys right there if you have something to use it. Now, you can also charge this with solar panels. If you have the adapter that goes right in there, you can put solar panels on it. So, I mean, what else could you ask for in a device that goes and charges stuff for you in the middle of nowhere? I'm in a forest right now charging my phone. If the battery's on the camera that's running, making this right now, if that dies, I can attach this camera unit that's right here to this box and I can charge it. The other neat thing about this is it doesn't have all kinds of clutter. So on the side, it has just a fan outlet, nothing else on that side. On the back, nothing at all on the back, no cables, nothing, all right? Go onto that side, just a fan, right? And if we flip it over, nothing on the bottom, just a bunch of warning labels. Now the neat thing is, there we go, we can operate it on its side, and it'll still work on its side. So if you were mounting this in, say, your RV conversion or something like that, you can literally put it on its side. That's another neat feature as well that I want to quickly talk about, is that it has an automated power backup. So what that means is if I have my big AC 120 volts plugged in right there, okay, and then in here I have, say, my Starlink satellite because I'm living off-grid and it's attached to it and the power flickers or goes out for any reason, this thing will kick in and it will actually power my satellite unit or whatever's plugged into it. Could be a fridge, could be anything. Anything that you want to plug in that has a maximum of 600 watts, right? And again, we plugged a heat stripper into it, and that worked really well. Right now I have the iPhone still attached to it, and it's funny because it's controlling the GoPro. So you can see right there, right? And it's charging, right? And even though we have no cell phone coverage, it's still able to control this device. So it's a really cool piece. I don't really know what else you could say about this. Negatives wise, so let's talk about that a little tiny bit. So as you saw with the heat gun running, and the heat gun was running at, 350, 360 watts, it only had half an hour of power in it. But, I mean, if I'm in the backcountry, I probably don't need 600 watts of power. If I'm charging my cell phone, right, if I turn the display back on, look, there's my cell phone pulling 2 watts right there, right? And it says what? It reads out that charging my mobile phone at 0.02 watts, 30 hours of charge time. Right? Let's put the AirPods back on the top there. See if that goes up a little. There we go. Now it's pulling 0.4 watts. Woo! 30 hours at 0.4 watts charging. AirPods on the top and a mobile phone over there. What more could you ask for in a backcountry situation? And again, if I was in a spot where I had to charge my GoPro camera and plug that in because I was doing video work out here in the woods, right? You know, let's try to plug that in and see if it works. looks like we're at 0.7 now. All right, so now what we're doing is now this portable power plant is powering a bunch of stuff all at the same time. So it's charging my phone right there. It's charging on the top a set of AirPods, and it's powering the GoPro camera. And I still have 24 hours. I don't know, that was weird, it just went up. 24 hours of charge time. So if that's not enough time to get everything all put together, I don't know what is. This is an amazing tool. You know, it's one of these things that I hope everybody manages to get and keep in your car, keep, you know, for your camping trips, because we're out in the middle of nowhere and we have electricity. I mean, how much better could that be? Again, this even has, you know, the input. You can put solar charging on it. So if, let's say I needed to be out for 3 or 4 weeks and I needed to charge equipment, right? Then I can put a solar charger on this and I literally have infinite power anywhere I need it. Like, what an amazing, amazing tool. We demonstrated that it works, and it works really, really well. There we have it. A quick little review of this, of the Bluetti EB3A. Want to make sure I got all those numbers correct. So the A stands for advanced, and man, it is advanced. Again, you can see I'm right here in the middle of nowhere, and I don't know what else I would need. I can charge all of my devices. I can charge my camera equipment. I can charge my phone. And again, you know, people will be, oh, well, what do you need your phone in the wilderness? You use your phone for lots of stuff, right? Your phone is a light. Your phone is a camera thing. You can take video with it if you don't have external video equipment. I can charge, you know, I use my phone for tons of stuff. Big thing in the wilderness would be the camera, I guess. But yeah, so I can charge that on here. I can run equipment, as you saw. Now, what if I need, like, if I'm really running off grid and I need a drill, right? And my drill battery dies, I can plug my drill's battery into this charging station, and I can charge that on this, then go back to my task of building whatever I want to build. So it's amazing. It's a great product. I would highly recommend, even if you don't live off grid, if you go any kind of camping or anything like that, this is great. And I mean, I understand that for some people they may be expensive. Like I say, I've seen them anywhere from around $300 to $500, depending on the area that you live. They are available on Amazon, of course, so that you can get it, you know, next day or whatever. But the great thing as well, positives of it, 2,000 charges, and the thing will still have 80%. I couldn't even count to 2,000 charges or know how long that would be. The only downside is, you know, of course, being it's Canada and it's winter, we do get cold weather. And like anything with the lithium-ion battery that's in here, I'm sorry, the lithium-ion battery, the lithium batteries in here can degrade, so don't leave it out on your back deck or on a picnic table like this overnight. It should be kept kind of room temperature around, you know, 20 Celsius or something like that. But yeah, beautiful tool. I love that I can just literally take my phone, smack the phone on the top, and the phone is going to charge. I love that I can charge, you know, I can have my high-speed USB, standard USB, heat gun, anything that I need, drill battery, drill bit, and all of it, the cool thing about this, all of it will charge all at the same time. Yes, it drains the battery faster, but it will charge all of it at the same time. So I want to thank you so much for tuning into this video today. Let's give you all that good social stuff that everybody loves. So you can look at our pictures on our Instagram, which is right up there. You can like us on Facebook, which is right there, to keep our updates, course updates, things like that. And if you want to come out in person and learn more about off-grid living and wild edibles and archery and axe throwing and bushcrafty stuff, you can hit us up right there on barefootbushcraft.com. So once again, I'm Wolf for Barefoot Bushcraft, and I want to thank you so much for tuning into this video. Please consider subscribing.